So hey, welcome to the Coding Zoo. If this is your first time joining, my name is Shane. Our goal at the Coding Zoo is to help others to learn how to program. I hope this video and other videos are helpful for you. In today's lesson, we're going to cover the methods push and pop on an array, which basically is the same as using a stack. So we're basically going to learn a little bit about the data structure stack. We're going to do so using the array object for that. There are other ways to create a stack. We're going to use the array for that. If you're interested in learning about the push and pop method on the array or what a stack is, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so as usual, I have a main.js file. I have an index file that includes that main.js file, and I've got my browser open to that file. In today's lesson, I went ahead and wrote the code to save time so we can go through it quicker. I would recommend for you to actually stop the video and code each piece as we go over it, though. This will help to keep it in your memory. This will help you understand what we're actually doing. So if you look at my desktop, I went ahead and created a variable, a constant called myFamilyStack. It's basically an array. So I'm going to document.write. So I'm going to write this data to the DOM object that's built into the browser, and I'm going to write what's in that array. And as you can see, there shouldn't be anything in it at this time. So if I've already brought up the page, I'll refresh it just to make sure I'm on the right page. So I'm going to click refresh, and you can see there's no data in the stack. Right? What is a stack? A stack is a data structure that's used to store sequential data. What's unique about a stack is that it's first in, last out. So the first item you put into your stack will be the last item you'll be able to get out of your stack. If you put 2 or 3 items into the stack, in order to get to the first one, you have to remove the other 2. It's first in, last out.
Let me give an example of what I mean by sequential data structure and about first in, last out. Or another way of thinking of it is last in, first out. Let's pretend my hand is a stack. It's a data structure. I am going to put an item in my data structure. So here's the first item. That's a camera battery, by the way. Okay, so that's the first item I put into my stack. And I decided to put that black one first. I'm going to put this red one next. So that's the second item I put in there. So first in, last out. So if I want to get the first one, if I want to get the black one out, I have to first remove the ones on top. So first in, last out. So it would be the last one out. Or last in, first out. So if I were to grab the last one in there, that would be the first one out. That would be this red one, right? Okay. So it's in the order I wanted them to be in. It was able to keep the order. My data structure was able to keep the order and first in, last out. Let's say we add one more. Okay. If I want to get the red one in, I had to first remove the last one I added. So last in, first out, or first in, last out. So I pop this one off. I've got it. That was the last one I put in. It's the first one I take off. And now I can pop again. And now I have the red one, right? So I first had to take the last entries that were added to my stack here, remove them first before I could get to the other ones that were added earlier. And then first in, last out, pop again. And there's my last one. There's my last out. It was my first one I put in the first place. So hopefully that helps you understand visual wise. If not, let me know and I'll throw a diagram up for you on the website. But hopefully that makes sense. Cool. Let's jump into the code.
So I could write a class or a function around the array and add the stack interface, push, pop, size, etc. But however, in this lesson, I decided just to go ahead and use the array straight up. So I created a myFamilyStack. As we just saw, it's empty. It's just an array. Array already has that interface, push and pop. So I'm going to use the push interface, the push function, and put data on that stack. Let's treat it like a stack. All right, so I'm going to uncomment this code. So it pushes the name Nicholas from, this is a My Family stack. It pushes the name Nicholas, Gabrielle, Ting, and Bella the dog. And there's my wife right there. Okay, thought I forgot my wife there. I remember the dog, but I forgot my wife. That would be bad. I think I'd be in the doghouse. All right, so I have Nicholas, Gabrielle, Ting, and Bella. So this pushes the names onto the stack. The first name I push is Nicholas, but to get Nicholas off the stack, I would have to remove the other 3 items first. All right, so let's print that out. Click refresh, and there we go. So Nicholas, Gabrielle, Tingwei, Bella the dog. And so my stack now has data. And I added that data by doing variable dot push and putting the data on with the push function. Okay, let's go back. And how do I take the first item off that stack? Well, you do that using the function pop. So again, a stack can be implemented different ways. In this case, we're just treating an array like a stack. We could create our own object that is a stack and uses other data structures for storing data. I think, I need to double check, but I think an array is quite efficient in JavaScript for this. When you take something off the stack or off the array, it doesn't move data around. Everything stays in place. So I believe as far as using an array for stack, it's pretty efficient in JavaScript. Don't quote me on that. I need to go double check, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty efficient. It's definitely efficient for small data sets. Big data sets I would double check, but I'm pretty confident that using an array for stack in JavaScript is just fine. Now, if using the stack interface on the array in JavaScript move the data around in the array every time you did a push or a pop, then that probably wouldn't be very efficient, and we wouldn't want to use it for large data sets. It would be good for small data sets. I'll give you an example. If you create a queue using an array in JavaScript, it's not very efficient for data sets, large data sets rather. Small data sets, it's okay. And we'll go over queue in our next lesson. We'll go over how that works. So for a stack, I think it's okay. So here we go. So I have myFamily.pop. Now pop is a function. It pulls off the stack, the last one that you entered, onto the stack. This function actually returns the data. I could be writing it out, or could be setting it to a variable. I'm going to do that right now. Document write. All right, so I'm popping a variable off, and then we can see that my stack has changed. It will no longer have that item on there. I went ahead and wrote this line, second entry still. And basically I'm saying the second entry is still the same. In other words, I'm checking to see whether this second entry in the stack is still in the same place. Is it moving data around when I pop something off the array? Are things getting moved around? This tells me whether it's happening or not. If it stays the same the entire time I use this, then it's not getting moved around. All right, so I almost left the bug there. Let me go ahead and add ending parentheses. And let's go ahead and save it. Go ahead and run it. And there we go. So it shows I'm popping my first item off of the stack. The stack was originally these 4 names. I popped my first item off. My popped item is Bella. So it took it's Bella the dog. So it took the entry Bella the dog off of the stack. So it's grabbing the last item you put in, it's grabbing it off first. The stack now has Nicholas, Gabrielle, and Tingwei, and Gabrielle is still the second item in the array. Things weren't moved around, and the length is 3. So it went from a length of 4 to a length of 3. So as you pop items off the stack, the size of the stack is changing. Let's pop the next item off. Click save and refresh. And there we go. I'm popping the next item. The stack just changed to Nicholas and Gabrielle. It popped the item off, and Gabrielle is still the second item in the stack, and the length is 2. So the size of the stack has changed accordingly. If I go back to my notepad, just a reminder, Bella was the last item we added on. Bella was the first item that came off with Pop. Ting Wei was the next to the last item we added on. It was the second item to come off the array, off the stack with Pop. That's it, pretty simple. Again, this is a quick, easy way to create a stack. In JavaScript, just use the built-in functions that are part of the array. Again, I think it's efficient enough for small data sets and probably large data sets. If you know differently, hey, leave me a message. I'd love to hear your point of view. In our next lesson, we're going to cover a queue, and we're going to show how using the built-in functions on an array is not efficient for a queue, and we're going to create our own queue implementation. We're also going to create that queue implementation using older JavaScript syntax and also ES6 syntax. So if you're interested in that, check out our next video. Hey, go ahead and click subscribe. If you like this video, click like and click that bell icon so you'll know when the next video comes out. Thanks for joining us. I hope it was helpful. We'll see you next time. Bye. Coffee, must have coffee first. Gotta have coffee. Oh, my son's sniffling over there. I have a feeling we're gonna hear a bunch of sniffles during this video, but that's okay. Hey, we're at the Coding Zoo and we are working. My son's over there doing his JavaScript lesson. My daughter's over there playing games. She's already done her JavaScript. My son's done his too. He's getting ahead, I think. And Mama doesn't do JavaScript. She's watching soap opera, I bet you. You can say something, yes.
I have not done my job.
Didn't you do your JavaScript 1 hour?
Yeah, but not the one he's doing.
But I said he's getting ahead.
He is?
Yeah, you said.
Why? What's wrong with you?
Because he likes JavaScript. That's why it's fun.
I never said.
What's wrong with you, daughter? All right, let's get started.